Let me tell you one of the most expensive lessons in human history. On 28th January 1986, millions of people watched the Space Shuttle Challenger launch live on television. Just 73 seconds later, it exploded. 7 astronauts lost their lives. The obvious question was, how could NASA, one of the smartest organizations on Earth, make a catastrophic mistake? Surely they didn't miss something that important. The truth is, much more interesting. The engineers had warned management about the rubber O-rings on the solid rocket boosters. They knew that at very cold temperatures, the seals could become less reliable. The night before launch, some engineers argued that the shuttle should not fly, but the launch went ahead. Why? Because nothing had gone seriously wrong on previous launches. And that's where we learn one of the most important ideas in decision science. It's called normalization of deviance. The term was later popularized by sociologist Diane Vaughan. Here's what it means. Imagine you break a small rule once, nothing bad happens. So the next time you break it again, still nothing happens. Eventually, the exception becomes the new normal. Not because it's safe, because you've survived it before. NASA had seen warning signs on earlier missions. Each successful launch made people a little more comfortable accepting those warning signs. Success created confidence, confidence reduced caution, and eventually the system drifted into danger without anyone noticing. Now think about your own life. You skip the gym once, nothing happens. You skip it again. Still nothing happens. Soon, skipping becomes normal. Or maybe you start replying to emails while driving. Nothing happens the first few times. Your brain slowly concludes, this must be safe, but it isn't. You've simply normalized the risk. Businesses do the same thing. A company ignores customer complaints because sales are still growing. A leader tolerates small ethical shortcuts because targets are being met. A relationship survives repeated poor communication until one day it doesn't. The fascinating part is this. Catastrophes rarely begin with one massive mistake. They usually begin with dozens of tiny compromises that become invisible over time. That's why the Challenger disaster is still studied in business schools, aviation, and medicine. Not because of rockets, because every system is vulnerable to slowly accepting lower standards. I've started asking myself a different question. Not what big mistake should I avoid, but what small compromise am I slowly accepting? Because history suggests that's where the real danger begins. Think about that. That's today's first principle. See you guys tomorrow.